This is a Christmas journal that I created from an old college textbook. I covered it with fabric, Christmas fabric from my mom's stash that she had, which we're not going to need for anything else. And this Noel thing that's on here was a bag, a small gift bag that I got at Dollar Tree. And then it was slightly too wide, but it came with a tag. This little tag right here, and I can't get over there to zoom, but that tag was the same as the piece that was on the actual part of the bag. So what I did was I just split it in the middle and cut sections off each side and shoved it together. It made a little more oval, but then I took this same little star tag and stuck over top of the star that was printed on there, which was a little bit bigger, and it worked. And then I added this gold snowflake down at the bottom. I didn't want it too frou-frou-y. I didn't want it too much going on. This is going to be a coffee table book for the Christmas season when I have my own home again, and possibly a coffee table to put it on, or at least a side table. So what I did was, when I had just the college textbook cover, I covered each page. After I put the fabric on, I took some construction paper and covered the inside, front and back. And then I took this gorgeous tissue paper, the only package of it they had, of course, at Dollar Tree, and I Mod Podged that down in over top. And on this page I have my favorite Christmas book, The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I used to read it every year. And I actually have a copy that's done, it's a facsimile of the original, which makes it a little hard to read, but it's really cool looking. Okay. Then I made 4 signatures of 6 pieces of paper. Well, it's actually 12 pieces of paper, and they are washi taped together. Each spread, 2-page spread, is washi taped together, and then they are sewn in with a red embroidery thread, all 6 strands. And it worked really well. I like this duct tape brand washi tape. It really holds. So what I did was, I had another book, because the textbook pages are super thin. I'm just using those as something to glue on and that kind of stuff. But I had another book which was about fishing. And I got these for free, although these were free, but the pages were the right size, exact same size, and so that's what I'm using, is pages from this other book, and I painted each one, and I've already pasted a bunch of stuff in. One thing I learned is, if you use gloss paint, it tends to stick to other gloss paint. So I would paint a bunch of pages, but then I got a bunch of them done, and then I had to sit and decide what's going to be facing pages, because I wanted them to complement each other. So when you opened the 2-page spread, they didn't clash. So it took a little finagling to do that. Oh, and the other thing I did, if you'll notice, the page edges are torn. That's where I tore them out of the back of the binding, the glued in binding stuff from the fishing book. So I used the straight edges to butt up against each other and do the washi tape on. So I just played with paints. A lot of them are like this, where they just go out from the center out. Some go across. Some I just painted white. I had some house paint that's not a semi-gloss, but like an eggshell finish. I had some fun when I glued in some pieces like this, where I went back with some Prismacolors and a dark gray just to make it pop out. I have a lot of empty spaces because this will be something I add to over the years. I just put in some things that I found, things that reminded me of Christmas when I was a kid, and up through the years. And you see what I've done. When I had a glossy page, I paired it with a page that was not glossy. That way they don't stick. Some pages got totally covered by a full page picture of some sort that was winter. I grew up in Michigan, so I know about winter. Even though I'm in Texas now and we rarely get and I got a Christmas card. Some pages I covered with, you probably, I don't know if you can see that or not. That particular page is covered with tissue paper, white tissue paper that has little, not sequins, like large glitter stuck in it.
Are full pages.
Some pages,
from
a couple
magazine,
of pages like
and
this.
The pages were nice and thick, so I just used it. Just had to trim it a little bit to fit. On the back side of it, I used a full page spread out of one of the Victoria magazines and some other images that I really like. And then there's the Texas flag and the glow collage of items that just remind me of various Christmases.
This is a very personal book. It's memories that I have of various Christmases. This is another one I did with, there we go. This is another one that I did with tissue paper. Fussy cut out this image from a magazine and did the, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to be able to see that because I can't get over there to zoom. I have a very old camera that's minimally useful. I'm lucky it works. And anyway, I used Prismacolors around it to just kind of make it pop off the page, kind of shadow behind it. I've got more of those to do. Like I want to do the bird and I want to do the amaryllis. I think that'll be really pretty. Some things again were full page spreads. I found some gorgeous stuff out of Victoria magazine, where I got all those Victoria magazines, 23 of them at the library, and 6 of them were Christmas ones. Again, tissue paper, pasted down. Okay, here we go. Everybody gets pictures with Santa, right? You remember doing that as a kid? Yeah. Yep, that's me. That's probably at about 6 years old. This one's probably about 7 years old. Yeah. It was really weird. You know, it was winter, it was Michigan, so I'm wearing a sweater, a wool skirt, and wool pants. Yeah, I wasn't going to get cold. I like the natural, real decorations when it comes to wreaths and such. I have some memories of sledding with these 2 cousins that there's a picture of. I have memories of the one time we went hunting for a Christmas tree and cut one down and hauled it home. It was my first real Christmas tree since I was a baby, basically. This side is more tissue paper. It's white, but the background had been painted a purple first. So that was really pretty, turned out really pretty. This is another one where I used the whole page out of a magazine. It was the right size, just trimmed a little bit off. And the back side was another pretty winter image. So this is kind of a Christmas/winter journal, because I have a lot of these winter type pictures. Reminds me of growing up. Some Christmas card images. Some calendar images. Some things I fussy cut out. This was a Christmas card I cut out. This says peace and joy all over the paper. So we went with the peace theme. And I'm not sure why you'd have different people's names on those tags that have nothing to do with the PEACE, but they were cute, I thought. Haven't got there yet. This again is tissue paper. More tissue paper over here. I cut out this beautiful double page spread of this cathedral. It's in Milan. I've never been there, but I used to go to midnight mass with my neighbors in downtown Grand Rapids, and the shape of this reminds me of the cathedral we went to in
altar
downtown
area
Grand
of
Rapids
the
Catholic
cathedral
Cathedral.
we went to looked a lot like this particular church building. Very ornate, very Victorian, and it was all painted white. And of course, the place was always packed for Christmas Eve service at midnight mass, and they had bell ringers in the back, so it was always cool. This was more tissue paper, and on this page, I did a little drew within a stencil. You can't really see anything but the little black one on the upper corner there. I did some others in gold, but you can't barely see them. And another page that was done with tissue paper.
Tissue paper on this side, and then I glued down, these were window stickers or window clings, and I glued them down with Mod Podge and went over them with Mod Podge to make sure they would stay. Added in some little stars, and I have some of that super fine glitter picked up at Walmart, and that's on top of it. And then I went ahead and Mod Podge over that again to make sure it wouldn't be coming off. More of this gorgeous, gorgeous tissue paper. I wish they'd had a ton of it. If I had the money, I'd have bought it. More tissue paper and a cutout. Full page and a calendar page from the medieval era, which is a favorite era of mine. More tissue paper. I really like doing the variegated colors. It just seems to give it some oomph. I did some brown pages, not sure what'll go on them. They may get repainted, just depending. More tissue paper, and that was over top of brown. I've got some beige and some green and red. This page likes to stick together because this green is a gloss. I'll be glad when it's used up because it sticks to itself. I like this dark red color that I found. It's like a barn red. Then I did some more purpley ones, and this card just fit perfectly on it. There's so much purple in it. And yes, I did add stars to the signature ties. Just a festive note there. Plain pages. I haven't done anything too. I don't think there's much of anything else in here. 2 pages left. There we go. And the last couple. And this is just some random. I did have an oops where something got green paint on it and hit that, and I couldn't get it off. So I was like, oh well, it's red and green, it's festive, it'll be fine. There may be something that goes over top of it at some point anyway. Now about the signatures. This is a big thick book. So there are 4 signatures with 12 individual sheets of paper. So there's 6 spreads, I guess you could say, which makes 12 pieces of paper, which gives you 24 actual pages. So there's a lot of pages in this book. And as you can see, it's not gapping. It may be by the time I'm done with it in years to come. But right now, it's just fine. Now on the back, all I have so far is the sewing, and that's it. I actually do plan to do a dangle or 2 from the spine, and I'm pretty sure it's going to include jingle bells. Other than that, I don't know, I hadn't gotten there yet. But that's the other journal I've been working on for myself. Now, onward to making some for other people.